For the past 5 years or so, NASCAR has seen a lot of young talent join the Cup Series, from Chase Elliott to Ryan Blaney to Eric Jones, or more recently Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. This was known as NASCAR's youth movement era, and I think it's safe to say that era is behind us. Sure, they're still young drivers, but they aren't as polished or Cup ready as Chase Elliott or William Byron looked in the Xfinity Series. However, there are still young, promising drivers out there that will probably make their way to Cup, but they're harder to find. So today, I want to highlight some of those and rank them based on both the talent they have shown so far and the potential upside they have for the future. This is my top 5 young drivers in NASCAR. First, let's talk about our honorable mentions, starting with Sam Mayer. The 19-year-old's rookie campaign has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride, from a rough start to the season to the most notable altercation so far this year at Martinsville, to a 10-race stretch where he finished in the top 5 8 times and crashed out the other 2. Sam's done just about anything but win so far and has shown some serious upside that junior motorsports fans can look forward to in the coming years. And his lack of consistency really seems like a classic case of a young driver in his first full-time season, learning the ropes, and I'm not sure anybody had high expectations for him. Meyer has at least exceeded what I expected for him this year, and fast forward a couple years, he could very easily be on top of this list if he's not already in the Cup Series. If I made this list at the beginning of the season, I probably would have put Sheldon Creed on it. He showed a lot of talent in the Truck Series, winning a championship even, but has had a rough go of it in his first year in the Xfinity Series, which is expected. He's adjusting. He's shown flashes though, especially recently, but I will say he hasn't met my expectations, but I wouldn't give up on him yet. With a full-time season under his belt, I fully expect him to turn the corner come 2023. Let's talk about his teammate, Austin Hill. If based purely on performance, Hill could easily be in this top 5, but what comes down to it, his upside isn't quite there. The 28-year-old is young, sure, but the Austin Hill we see today is likely what we will see out of him throughout his career, which isn't a bad thing, but when talking about the top young drivers, upside is a big part in the rankings, and I don't see a high ceiling enough to justify Hill being on the top 5. Don't get me wrong, I think he will be a solid Cup driver, and I'm curious to see how he does in Michigan today. Anything more than a solid Cup Series driver would be surprising to me. Now that the honorable mentions are out of the way, let's get to my top 5, starting with Chandler Smith. Chandler is a driver who I was so high on that I made a video about him a couple years back. This year, he has finally shown the talent that I saw in him a couple years ago. Last season was his first full-time year, and he earned 2 wins, but it was the consistency that was lacking, which is a normal thing. However, in year 2, he has arrived, earning 2 wins again with 7 top 5s and 11 top 10s so far, and has emerged as a legitimate championship threat in the Truck Series. As a Toyota development driver, the next logical step would be Joe Gibbs' Xfinity team, but unless Gibbs decides to open a new full-time team, or if Ty Gibbs ends up having to replace Kurt Busch in the 45, a promotion to Toyota looks unlikely for 2023. I could see another team like Junior Motorsports or Stewart-Haas potentially steal him from Toyota and take him under their wing. Now let's talk about Chandler's KBM teammate, Jon Hunter Nemechek, who comes in at number 4. Some of you probably saw this comment, as I have made it no secret how high I am on Jon Hunter Nemechek, making a video about him a couple years back as well, and he's proven me right at some points, like when he broke out for 5 wins last season as first year at KBM. But he's also shown some flaws, making bonehead moves and earning a reputation for it around the garage. 2022 has been a bit of a step backwards for Nemechek, only finding victory lane once and earning just 7 top 5s and 12 top 10s. Seen as respect as a myth in the Truck Series, I still have faith in Jon Hunter's ability behind the wheel, and with Cup experience to his name, he has been mentioned in many different seats outside of just Toyota seats. And I'm not sure if Toyota really cares enough to keep him, so I predict he will advance through the ranks with a different manufacturer, probably Chevy or something, when the opportunity arises. And speaking of Chevy, let's talk about my number 3 driver, Noah Gragson. My opinion on Noah Gragson changes drastically from a week-to-week basis. One week I'll be thinking he's actually matured and maybe ready for the Cup Series. Then the next week he'll make an absolutely inexcusable bonehead move, and it makes you question what separates him from a NASCAR Heat League racer or something. Despite the bonehead moves, though, Noah has still shown plenty of upside to be on this list, especially showing a new level of consistency in 2022, netting 3 wins so far, along with 11 top 5s and 15 top 10s, and a solid average finish of 10th. 2021 was a rough year for him, but he's done a good job at bouncing back this year, and as for his Cup future, he seems to be pretty much set in that 42 job at Petty GMS, which isn't top tier equipment by any stretch of the imagination, but Eric Jones has shown that you can be a playoff contender in that equipment. I'm not sure what my expectations are for the driver of the 42, Noah Gragson, next year, but I think we all anticipate he'll likely piss someone off. Now let's talk about another Smith from the Truck Series, Zane Smith, who comes in second on this list. Zane has emerged as, I would say, the championship favorite in the Truck Series with 3 wins, 11 top 5s, and 14 top 10s. The thing about Zane is if you look back at his Truck Series career so far, he's been a championship contender each year. He came into the Truck Series looking like a polished veteran in 2020, winning 2 races and more importantly, finishing second in the championship standings, a feat he would repeat just 1 year later in 2021. Although he went through a little bit of a sophomore slump that year, only earning 1 win, seeing a bit of a dip in consistency, but when he got to the playoffs, and it really mattered, he got himself to the Final Four and finished second in the playoffs with a shot to win the championship trophy. I am confident he will once again make the Final Four this year, as he's shown a knack of doing so, and I think if Zane can get the job done, win a championship, in my eyes, he would be ready for a promotion to the Xfinity Series, and you can argue he's shown enough to earn a promotion regardless. Not sure what team he would drive for, but he has ties with Junior Motorsports, actually started his NASCAR career there in the Xfinity Series on a part-time basis before running in the Truck Series. He was apparently in the running for a job at Chip Ganassi Racing, which was like, what? Before they were bought out. But now he's driving a Ford, and they seem to have him as a high priority in their system, and I think he will stay within the program. Being at Ford, who only has 2 competitive teams in the Xfinity, options are certainly limited, but I can see him join a new SHR team, or maybe Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing dips in the Xfinity and gives him a ride. Seeing as Ford doesn't seem to care about the Xfinity Series, they could just skip it all together and bring him to Cup. As for what team in Cup, I don't know, maybe Roush Fenway decides to open up a new team. Sorry, I forgot to mention the Keselowski in there, but maybe they'll open up another team, or he'll replace Chris Buescher who goes somewhere else. I don't know the specifics of it, but I have a feeling he will be in Cup here in the next couple of years. It's only a matter of time, but I'm curious to see where Zane Smith's career leads him. Now let's get into my number 1 young driver in the NASCAR lower series. You probably saw this coming. I got Ty Gibbs. The numbers just speak for themselves. 5 wins, 9 top 5s, 13 top 10s in his first full-time Xfinity season so far. And if that's not enough for you, Gibbs already had 4 Xfinity Series wins going into his first full-time season. Those 4 wins came from an 18-race part-time schedule he ran in 2021. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he's only 19. At that young age, he is not only showing potential, he is just downright showing talent, and far above any other young driver, hell, just any driver in NASCAR's lower ranks. Ty has made 2 Cup Series starts that make in his video. By the time you see this video, he will have made his 3rd start at Michigan, substituting for Kurt Busch. With the limited seat time and the adjustment it takes going from an Xfinity car to a next-gen car, I'm not putting too much stock in his performances in the 45, but he's done solid, and I'm curious to see how he performs at Michigan, which will be the first oval he's competed at in the Cup Series. While he may have been able to easily adjust in the lower series, NASCAR's Cup Series, as always, will be a new challenge that will take time for Gibbs to reach his full potential, but we all know it's only a matter of time before we see Gibbs full-time in the Cup Series. We all know that he will drive for a Toyota-backed team, whether it be 23XI or with his grandfather over at Joe Gibbs Racing. It could be as soon as next year that we see him make the jump in 2023, but if not in 2023, it'll be 2024 that will be his rookie year. If I'm being honest, he's really shown that he is the best driver in the Xfinity Series, so naturally, it's time for him to take the upgrade to the Cup Series, and I don't even know what to expect when it's the Cup Series time. It should be interesting to follow the career of Ty Gibbs. And that is my top 5 young drivers in the sport of NASCAR. Let me know how I did. If I'm being honest, this is a very movable list. Outside of Ty Gibbs at number 1, you can rearrange this list and be right. That's just how I feel at the making of this video. I'm sure within weeks it might be different. I might move somebody up and move somebody down and things like that. So it's a very loosely based list that I just put on here to just maybe spark a little discussion. And I'd really love to see your guys' top 5. So down below in the comments, go comment down below your top 5 young drivers in NASCAR and critique me on mine. Let me know if I overrated somebody or underrated somebody and that. And as always, let me know things I could improve on throughout the video. I want to give you guys the best video possible, so if you can include things I could improve on. I know my audio, I've been told, is still weird. Hopefully it's better in this video. I did notice there was a weird noise at some point, and I had to restart the recording, so hopefully I fixed that. And all in all, I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and like I said, comment down below. I'm hoping to get this video out in time. I am on a time crunch. I'm going to take a trip for the whole next week, so if this doesn't get out, I will probably have to re-record it again and make it come out a week later. So hopefully this gets out there. I do have videos planned for the next couple of weeks regarding the playoffs, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. And yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Unbelievable what that is.
Edwards going for 2 in a row, won last Sunday in Atlanta. Tony Stewart is 6th, and that really will affect the championship standings as we head for Phoenix next week. Carl Edwards.
You can take a break.